First up, the Asus TUF Dash F15. The Asus TUF Dash F15 delivers a solid gaming experience using the latest 11th Gen Intel Core CPU and GeForce RTX GPU. The TUF Dash F15 is always ready for action and excels at gaming, streaming, and more. This laptop is just 0.8 inches thick and weighs in at just 4.5 pounds, making it extremely thin, light, and extremely portable. Both the keyboard deck and the lid of the laptop are made of aluminum, so it doesn't lose any structural rigidity for the sake of portability. The 15.6-inch display is a 1080p IPS panel with a 240Hz refresh rate, making it perfect for esports and other fast-action games, and the bezels framing the display are far from the thinnest in the world, but they're definitely not thick enough to be distracting. If you can get along with a refresh rate of 165Hz, you can get a comparable laptop with a 16-inch 1660p display with the Lenovo Legion 5 Pro Gen 6 coming up later in the video. The keyboard offers plenty of key travel, which is appreciated, especially considering the thin build of the laptop. There's no RGB lighting, but the keyboard is highlighted using a teal-colored backlight, while the WASD keys are clear, making them more prominent for movement commands. Some will love it, while others will not, but when you consider the budget price, it's something you could possibly learn to like. The TUF Dash F15 is powered by an Intel i7 processor that performs well for gaming and doesn't present any type of bottlenecking problems with the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 Ti GPU. The GPU is capable of going beyond 60 FPS in games like Call of Duty Warzone, Outriders, Control, Watch Dogs Legion, and Minecraft, all with ray tracing settings on. 8GB of RAM is in place, as is a 512GB SSD for file storage. If you're looking for a cheap, portable gaming laptop that can tear through the latest games, the Asus TUF Dash F15 is a very good choice. The level of performance that you get with the hardware set at this price point makes it a genuinely great deal. Next up, the Dell G15 Ryzen Edition. Dell has overhauled its G15 gaming line to include AMD Ryzen processors and an even sturdier design. There's also more impressive hardware components and decent battery life, which is always important with portable gaming. Dell's G15 Ryzen Edition is a budget-friendly gaming laptop that's not as sleek as the Asus TUF Dash F15, but has a narrow bezel and an Alienware-inspired thermal design. It effectively dissipates heat by maximizing airflow using the Game Shift key. All you have to do is press the G key, and the CPU fan speeds are increased to bring the internal temperature down. The best part is that you could do this all without having to Alt-Tab out of your game. The 15.6-inch IPS display gives you 1080p resolution and a refresh rate of 120Hz, which is great for gaming. The impressive contrast ratio of the display means you'll get plenty of depth, with images that have a lot of depth and plenty of punch. However, the display doesn't render a wide range of colors, so games that feature a lot of color might not render as expected. Overall, the G15 delivers a solid gaming speed and a good application pace, so you won't have any problems playing games, even the AAA titles. Everything is powered by a Ryzen 5 processor, with graphics handled by a dedicated NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050, with 4GB of onboard RAM. There's 8GB of RAM installed, and storage is taken care of by a 256GB SSD. If you'd prefer an Intel-based CPU and want to save a few dollars, have a look at the Acer Nitro 5 that's coming up later. As far as the battery is concerned, it's one of the most long-lasting among gaming laptops. If you were to use your G15 for work, you could easily get a solid 9 hours out of it. And when it comes to actual gaming, the battery lasts just under 2 hours, and any laptop gamer will know that those stats are pretty good. The Dell G15 Ryzen Edition delivers a robust design, good computing power, and battery life all at a great price, making it a great overall budget gaming laptop, and is one of the most popular, for good reason. Next up, the Acer Nitro 5. The Acer Nitro 5 offers some serious gaming performance at a very reasonable price, which is something that a lot of people are going to like. If you're able to live with its compromises, then it's definitely worth considering as your next laptop. The Nitro 5's 15.6-inch 1080p IPS display is clear and crisp, but it's not the best in terms of vibrancy and brightness, but it does the job. The backlit keyboard experience is good, and there's even room for a full number pad. The trackpad underneath is rather small and unresponsive, and seems to be an area where Acer has tried to cut costs. Under the hood, the Nitro 5 has an Intel i5 processor and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 GPU with 4GB of dedicated RAM, with new ray tracing cores, tensor cores, and streaming multiprocessors that support DirectX 12 Ultimate for the best gaming performance. To keep everything fluid, there's 8GB of RAM installed, and for internal storage, a 256GB SSD is in place. Running at 1080p, you'll get frame rates of 40 to 60 FPS on Red Dead Redemption 2 at the balanced graphics setting, 110 to 120 FPS on Grand Theft Auto 5 at medium graphics quality, and 40 to 50 FPS on the newer and more demanding Cyberpunk 2077 at a good/ray tracing medium setting. In short, you could definitely play all the latest and greatest games on the Nitro 5, but you might have to make some compromises in terms of graphics settings with certain titles. The Acer Nitro 5 is a good, cheap gaming laptop that offers mid-range performance and is a great choice for gamers who don't want to pay for the highest resolutions or frame rates. It is the best-selling budget gaming laptop for good reason, and a perfect entry point for someone new looking to buy their first gaming laptop. If you're interested in updated pricing on any of the items mentioned in this video, be sure to check out the links below. Prices update on these products almost daily with sales or general price drops, so if you want to find the most updated information, check the description. If you find this video helpful, please help out the channel by giving this video a like and tell us which product caught your eye in the comments below. Next up, the HP Pavilion Gaming 15. With a very competitive price point, the HP Pavilion Gaming 15 rocks a 5th generation Ryzen CPU and dedicated graphics card to deliver a budget-friendly gaming on-the-go experience. This gaming laptop features a sturdy, matte black plastic build and an emerald HP logo centered on the lid that coordinates with the green keyboard backlight. The display is a 15.6-inch IPS panel with a 60Hz refresh rate, but it's not very color accurate. The display covers just 65% of the sRGB color gamut, and on the whole, colors are a bit dull. On a more positive note, the speakers, which are tuned by Bang & Olufsen, are one of the Pavilion Gaming 15's biggest strengths. The laptop sounds quite good and includes the B&O audio control app, which has a few different presets, but as it stands, the audio sounds quite good right out of the box. The Pavilion's internal hardware serves up some decent gaming performance, and is built on with an AMD Ryzen 5 processor, paired up with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 graphics card, 8GB of RAM, and a 256GB SSD. Like the Acer Nitro 5, you'll be able to play most titles, but you may have to customize the in-game settings to get better frame rates and overall performance. Connectivity options are kept simple with 2 USB ports, 1 USB-C port, an HDMI port, a memory card slot, and a headphone jack. Battery life will give you up to 5.5 hours, which is better than the 2 hours offered by the Dell G15 Ryzen Edition, but will vary depending on how hard you're pushing it. If you're looking for a well-built, cheap gaming laptop, the HP Pavilion Gaming 15 can easily serve your basic gaming needs and is a great budget gaming laptop. Performance on most games is strong at high or medium settings, and you get great sound as a bonus. Finally, the Lenovo Legion 5 Pro Gen 6. The Lenovo Legion 5 Pro Gen 6 delivers solid gaming performance and great build quality and adds more to the overall experience with a great-looking display and a keyboard that's comfortable and easy to use. The Lenovo Legion 5 Pro Gen 6 is a heavier laptop, weighing in at 5.4 pounds. With this extra heft comes plenty of space for ports, although most are relegated to the back of the laptop's hinge and on its left side. Chunkier gaming laptops make sense, as they have more room for a cooling system that doesn't rely on extremely fast-spinning fans. And the Legion 5 Pro Gen 6 still manages to look like a made-for-2021 machine. Surrounding the display are thin screen borders on 3 sides and a slightly thicker one at the bottom. The lid and the underside are aluminum, and the plastic surrounding the keyboard has a pleasant soft-touch finish that feels sturdy. The screen itself is a bright 16-inch 1600p IPS display with a 3:2 aspect ratio, 165Hz refresh, and support for HDR400. This is a display that instantly impresses, with no sign of obvious motion trails, even with fast action. And this fast refresh allows for proper display of frame rates up to 165 FPS. The anti-glare matte panel still pops and makes reflections largely a non-issue. The backlit keyboard has fairly deep chiclet keys that have a well-defined action that feels pretty satisfying and is fast, responsive, and comfortable. Hardware components include an AMD Ryzen 5 processor and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 graphics card with 4GB of onboard RAM. There is a premium version of this laptop, but for now we're going to focus on the standard model. 8GB of RAM is installed, and file storage is facilitated by a speedy 256GB SSD. If you're looking for a cheap gaming laptop that can provide solid gaming performance and an excellent display, the Lenovo Legion 5 Pro Gen 6 is a great choice and one of the best gaming laptops in its class.